Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me today for a quick and easy PSA reveal. I've got 10 cards, or at least 10 that I sent in here. You can see we have one failure on the top that we'll talk about in a moment. It's going to go quick though because there's a couple duplicates in here and a few of them are soccer cards, but I have I think one hockey and then a couple really nice baseball cards to close it out. So hopefully you'll stick with me to the end. If you're not a soccer fan, I won't be offended if you just fast forward and check out the two baseball cards to close it out. But I have this card in the background to kind of set some context for the episode because this is the 2018 Panini Prism World Cup Kylian Mbappe, and it's the silver prism. And you love that etching. I mean, look at this card, just gorgeous. This is a pretty big Mbappe card. This is the tournament in 2018, that World Cup, where he really made his name. He won the cup with the French team as a teenager and was absolutely like the most electric player in the tournament. And it's when I became aware of just how dominating he was and began collecting him. And he's really become my favorite soccer player on the globe. And there are a couple Mbappe cards in this that we'll start with to kind of link to that one. And from that same 2018 tournament, Panini did the instant program. So this is very similar to Topps now. These would be issued after the games, showing highlights, from particular games or notable achievements by players or teams, things like that. And they would be printed to demand. So they'd be up for, 48 hours or whatever it was. And however many people ordered one, that's how many they would make, and out the door they would go. Now, the thing is, back in 2018, not only was the hobby not as popular, anywhere near as popular as it is now, or certainly during the COVID boom, but soccer in particular, nobody cared about. So these cards I find very compelling because while this is a very valuable Mbappe card because of that historic tournament, it's not a rare card or even scarce card by any means. There are plenty of them out there. However, these instant cards, because of how few people were buying up soccer at the time, they have pretty limited print runs. So this one here is paying tribute to his goal in the World Cup final, where he became the youngest player to score in the final since Pele, which is pretty cool. And if we look at the back, only 540 copies of this card were printed up. And I bought quite a few. I had, I think at one point, probably 20 copies of this. In fact, I think I bought a 20 pack of them for cheap coin. And I've been slowly grading them over time. And I plan to sell these, or at least most of these, or trade them as his career unfolds. He is poised to move to a new club this summer. And so I'm happy to have these in hand, and we'll probably sell them sometime over the course of the summer as his hype builds, or I may hold them even longer than that. But this PSA 8, I will be looking to move probably pretty quickly. And then this one I'll hang on to, same copy, or second copy of the same card. Got the PSA 9 on this one. So I will keep the 9, sell the 8. And then this is the even more compelling card from the release, in my opinion, because this represents his World Cup debut. So this is his first ever Panini instant card. And you can see here, Mbappe makes history in debut. 2-1, France beat Australia on June 16th, 2018. Now this card, because it's a debut card, makes it much more desirable than the goal in the finals. And not only that, because it came earlier in this program, not as many people had caught on to it yet. And so the print run on this is only 221. And because of that, I find this card to be one of the most compelling, sneaky, under-the-radar Kylian Mbappe cards in existence. And likewise, I purchased quite a few of these as sort of almost a minor investment in the fall of 2018. Held on to them for years and have now been slowly grading them. I sent 3 copies of this in with this submission, which, by the way, I did through my buddy JT over at Triple Crown 24. I will leave a link below to his YouTube channel. But if you are looking to submit cards to PSA, he's an extremely trustworthy and organized way to go about doing that. This is either my second or third time submitting with JT, and he's a well-known, trusted individual here in our hobby. And then on the other 2 copies that I sent in, I got PSA 9 on each of those. So these are really nice cards. These are going to be long holds for me. And down the line, my plan with these is, many years from now, if I'm hopefully still in the hobby, I plan to use these cards to fund, sell them and fund the purchase of something really big or a few really big cards for my collection. And I've already done that to an extent. So one of these that I sent in the past actually got a PSA 10, which is kind of crazy. These are very condition sensitive. I think it is a Pop 2, maybe even to present day. And believe it or not, I sold that card for close to $2,000 when it came back in a PSA 10. And I think I was into it for about $50. So just gives you some sense for, how little anyone cared about soccer cards back in 2018 versus present day. And then I swear I'm finishing up here with the soccer, but I have two more. I sent these in a good while ago. So this may be a little bit confusing why I have so much soccer in here, but believe it or not, the 2022 World Cup had just wrapped up in November of 2022 or December. And then I sent these off early 2023. So that's why I've got these next two cards in here, because these are the two guys who played each other in the final in what was probably the most memorable single soccer game I've ever seen in my entire life. And Leo Messi brought home the title for Argentina. And this is the Optic Holo representing that tournament where he got his title. So just like this 2018 Prism Mbappe represents his World Cup title, this 2021-22 Optic represents Messi's World Cup title year. And again, look at that etching through the uniform. A little bit bummed that this one got an 8. Would have loved to see a 9 on this, but we'll see. I may pick up a 9 if I think they're really cheap. So I'll probably grab a 9 on eBay and just send this away to a friend, or see if somebody will give me $20 for it or something like that. But then I also sent in the Mbappe, his counterpart from that game, and that one came back a Gem Mint 10. So gotta love that. Neither one of these are not valuable cards. They're not high-end. They're not expensive cards like the Panini Instant that I just showed, but I just wanted some basic representation in my collection of those two individuals from that tournament, because it was so memorable, that finals game where they both just had incredible games on the biggest stage in soccer and one of the biggest stages in the world in all of sports. Game was tied and went all the way to a shootout before Messi and Argentina bested France. And now I have one bummer of a hockey card here I sent in. This is the one that did not make grading. It's a Connor McDavid card, and I bought this off of ComC. And interestingly enough, I thought I bought it off of ePack, which means it goes direct from Upper Deck right to ComC. But it came back, does not meet minimum size requirements. So I understand why they won't grade it based on that, but I'm relatively certain it probably came from the factory with the size that it has now. But in any event, the card that I was attempting to get graded was this awesome Metal Universe Purple Spectrum. This is the first ever Metal Universe set, and this is the retro insert done on the Purple Spectrum parallel, which is kind of like a poor man's Precious Metal Gems. It's got the same look and feel as a PMG. It's just purple instead of red, and it's numbered to 199, whereas the PMGs are numbered to just 100. So yeah, a little bit of a stinker there, but whatever. I've sent in a lot of cards for grading the last couple of years, and that's the first one that's ever not made the cut. And I'll just put it into a one-touch magnetic, and it will still be a valued part of my collection of who I deem to be the best hockey player on the planet. And then let's close off with the two baseball cards here. I did really well on both of these, particularly the second one. I have a bit of a dilemma now. We'll get to that in a second. But first, from the 1999 Bowman's Best release, I sent this Adrian Beltre Refractor. Look at this card. I mean, this is, as modern shine goes, 99 Bowman's Best is like right up there with me with like Topps, finest, first couple of years of finest, 93, 94. Like these just look incredible. Some of the best etching that I've ever seen on any set ever made, and just amazing. Like they glow. And you can see here, it's picking it up fairly well, but I assure you it looks even better in person, even than it's coming across on camera here. I think this is like a second year Beltre card, and I have no plans to move this card out of my collection. I just sent it in because I thought it would look great, slabbed up. And believe it or not, at the time that I sent it, Beltre was not yet enshrined, and so I thought it would be cool to get this encapsulated before he made the haul officially. And I have quite a few of these Bowman's Best cards, refractors now, both of Hall of Famers and otherwise. They are numbered too on the back to 400 copies. Now, there's also an atomic refractor version of this, numbered to just 100, but I actually like the look of the regular refractor best. So I try to stick to the regular refractors when it comes to that particular Bowman's Best release. And then lastly, I have, like, in some ways, I guess, a bit of a monster here. This player is having a little bit of a disappointing season, but somebody who I've always collected going back over 10 years and for a while was my favorite player in all of baseball, and that is Xander Bogaerts. And I have a rookie card of his here that is an absolute banger. So let's just look at it. From 2014 Topps Chrome, which is his rookie year. You can see the logo here. This is his Topps Chrome rookie. This is the red refractor, which, you know, in addition to being team color matching, is limited to just 25 copies. And believe it or not, this one came back a Gem Mint 10. So, I mean, between the fact that it's, you know, standard Topps Chrome, probably the most desirable shiny product when it comes to modern cards, rookie card, and it's team color matching red, numbered as low as 25, to get a Gem Mint 10. This is, as far as Xander Bogaerts cards go, this is a monster. I have no idea what the, you know, market value on this might be. I do like Xander. However, if somebody is looking to give me crazy money for this, you know, like, there's maybe a chance this could be a 4-figure card or even beyond that. And at that, you know, if it becomes that desirable as I float it out there, I may have to part with it and, you know, pick up something really big for my collection instead. That's a better fit for kind of the way I collect now. But you can see on the back here, copy 4 of 25. So just 25 to begin with. And out of those 25, how many would grade a PSA 10? I mean, I couldn't tell you, but of all the cards that I sent in, I told a buddy this at the time, if there was one that was going to get a 10, that would be the one I would have hoped for. And it's going to be very intriguing to kind of decide what direction to go with that card down the line here, whether I hang on to it or move it for, you know, something else big for the PC. So that's a wrap on my small little PSA submission here. Certainly appreciate you checking this one out. And again, huge thanks to JT for handling all of the details around that and getting these cards back in hand. Highly recommend looking him up if you're looking to do something similar. And to everybody else, thank you for stopping by and checking this video out. And as you know, I'll be back very soon with some more content. Till then, enjoy the hobby. See ya.